Very good morning, my dear friends. A hearty welcome to my YouTube channel, Mechanical Engineering Lecture Series, and myself, Dr. M.H. Annaya, Vice Principal at Saptagiri College of Engineering, Bangalore. Friends, in today's session, we are going to learn about the design for fatigue strength. Friends, you know very well, if you have a member, say a steel rod, subjected to a static load, say a pull, the member is subjected to tensile load and hence tensile stress is induced in the member. Similarly, if the same member is subjected to compression, there is compressive stress induced in the member irrespective of the cross section. And in today's session, we have a problem on this fatigue strain. What happens if the member, same steel rod, is subjected to load fluctuating between two values? Say here there is a member subjected to load varying from 1 kilonewton to 3 kilonewton. So 1 kilonewton tensile load is applied for some time, then after some cycles it is increased to 3 kilonewton. This procedure is repeated. So in all such cases, whenever there is the fluctuating load or the member is subjected to fatigue, we are going to use what is called the Soderberg equation or Goodman's relation to solve the problem on these fluctuating loads. Friends, here in this problem we have a steel rod having sigma u, the ultimate tensile strength, the yield value 552.1 and the endurance stress is 448.2 MPa, and this is being subjected to a fluctuating axial load varying from 1 kilonewton to 3 kilonewton. See, for all such problem, friends, we have to use what is called the Soderberg equation. So for axial loads, I'll just start with this. For axial loads, comma, we have the Soderberg equation. Soderberg's equation given by sigma A divided by sigma minus 1d plus sigma m divided by sigma yd is equal to 1. Friends, this equation is given in different forms by different authors, and in different machine design you find this equation given in different forms, but basically the final result would be the same whether you make use of X handbook or Y's handbook. You are all going to get the same answer. Friends, in the first question I am going to explain in detail what are these four different terms used here. So let me start with this sigma A. Tell what does it stand for and how do you calculate. So we are going to calculate all these four quantities separately, substitute in the formula and obtain the diameter of the rod required to sustain this fluctuating load fluctuating between 1 kilonewton and 3 kilonewton. Friends, let me explain one by one all these. Let's see how to find out this sigma A. What is sigma A? Sigma is stress, A stands for amplitude. So this sigma A is stress amplitude, which is given by FA divided by capital A. All these equations are available in the data handbook. You need not by heart any of these. So stress amplitude is FA by A. What is this FA? F is load and A is amplitude. FA will stand for the difference between maximum load, minimum load divided by 2. Again, this equation is available in the data handbook. And A stands for the area of cross section, and if it is a circular rod, area of cross section would be pi d square by 4. And friends, if it is any other cross section, you will have to find out the corresponding area of cross section. Yes, what is F max? He says the load is fluctuating between 1 kilonewton and 3 kilonewton, and hence 3 kilonewton is the maximum load and 1 kilonewton is the minimum load. So I am going to substitute here and get FA is equal to F maximum, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton minus 1 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton divided by 2. So 3000 minus 1000 by 2000 by 2, and you can say 3000 minus 1000, 2000 by 2 is 1000 Newton, because this is a load and hence we express it as 1000 Newton. Friends, now let us find out what it is FA. So we will say this is equal to 1000 Newton divided by pi d square by 4. I take 4 to the numerator and this works out to 4000 divided by pi d square, where d is the diameter of the rod which is to be found out. So I just call this relation as 1. Likewise friends, let us find out what is sigma m. Friends, sigma m means the mean stress. Sigma is stress, m stands for mean. So this mean stress is given by mean load, that is Fm divided by 2 mean load or the average load divided by the area of cross section. This is by area of cross section. What is this mean load? Mean load is an average load, the average of the maximum load and the minimum load. So this is F max, maximum load, plus minimum load, F minimum, divided by 2, that is Fm, multiplied by area pi d square by 4. This is by 4. Then this works out to pi d square by 4. Yeah, this is right. So this value would be F maximum is equal to 3000 Newton given plus 1000 divided by 2. That 4 goes to the numerator divided by pi d square. Friend, this is going to be 4 into, this is 2000 into 4, that is 8000 divided by 2 pi d square, and this will be, again I think this is going to be 1000 by pi d square by 4. 1000 was the average value, maximum, and 2000, yeah, this is right, this is 4000 is right, and here 3000 plus 1000 by 2, for 2000 into 2, 4000, 8000 by pi d square. This is the relation for this, the value maximum plus minimum by 2, 4 goes there, is 2 times only, 2 times of this 4000 is 8000 by pi d square. This is right. Friends, we have got the value of sigma A, we have the value of sigma m. Now I will have to find out these two parameters and then substitute to get the value of the diameter of the rod required to sustain this load. Friends, here I have just rubbed a small portion of this so as to accommodate the other data. Next I am going to find out what is sigma minus 1d. Friends, this d in the symbol stands for design stress or permissible value. Sigma minus 1 is an endurance stress, that is the stress the member can withstand for infinite number of cycles. So this is given by sigma minus 1 divided by n suffix minus 1 d. Friends, sigma minus 1 is the endurance stress. So generally the sigma minus 1, if not given in the data handbook, its value is approximately 50% of the value of sigma u. Since it is given here as 448.2 MPa, I am going to substitute that value divided by this n minus 1d, that is design factor of safety, and this is given by the formula KSZ, K suffix SR, K suffix L, n suffix minus 1a. So I am going to explain one by one all these parameters. Friends, this KSZ stands for the size correction factor, and its value, if not given, is 0.85. Then coming to this KSR, SR stands for the surface. So KSR is surface correction factor and is given by 1 by E suffix SR. So this is all available in the data handbook. ESR stands for the surface coefficient. Friends, if you have the ultimate strength of the material, there is a table in the data handbook, a graph which will give you about the value of this ESR on the y axis. So if you know the ultimate tensile strength, so it is given as 793 approximately, say this is 800. So you can write a vertical line till these lot of curves are there. These I have taken a curve for rough finished. That means I assume that the surface of the rod is not totally finished. So for that you get a value of ESR. For this particular problem, this ESR works out to approximately 0.8. So I am going to substitute the value there. Then comes KL. KL stands for the correction factor for load. So here friends, this KL, the load factor, you have to remember this, is equal to 0.6 for the case of torsion. So if you are considering a problem on torsion, you should take 0.6, that is equal to 0.7 for axial loads. So here we have to consider this KL as 0.7 because the load is axial, and this is equal to 1 if it is the case of a fluctuating bending moment or a bending load. This is what we are going to take, and hence here I am going to take KL is equal to 0.7 because the load is actual, and this n minus 1a is the factor of safety, that is given as 2. Friends, with all these values, let us see how to get the value of this sigma minus 1d. So I am going to substitute the value sigma minus 1. The value was given as 442 point something, that is 448.2 divided by KSZ is 0.85, KSR is 1 by 0.8, KL is an axial load 0.7, given factor of safety is 2. With all this substitution, friends, you are going to get the value of sigma minus 1d after calculation works out to 297.41 MPa. So friends, till now you are able to find out the stress amplitude, the mean stress, the sigma minus 1d, the design endurance stress. Finally, we are left with finding out what is sigma yd. Friends, this d in the symbol stands for design. So sigma yd is given by sigma y, the yield stress, divided by nyd. This is the formula you have in the data handbook. So here, let's see what is sigma y is given to be equal to 552 divided by nyd is given by the formula KSZ K sigma A nya, KSZ K sigma A nya. Here let me substitute the values. This is 552 divided by size correction factor is 0.85. K sigma A stands for the stress concentration factor. So whenever the surface is uniform throughout, we do not find any stress accumulated at a particular point. There won't be any stress concentration, and I take it as 1. nya is the given factor of safety, and this works out to 324.76. 0.76 MPa or Newton per millimeter square. Friends, we have got all the values, all the 4 parameters: sigma A, sigma m, sigma minus 1d and sigma yd. So let us substitute all these in this equation of Soderberg's and get the value of d. So friends, I am substituting all the values. Sigma A is given by 4000 by pi d square. So sigma A is 4000 by pi d square divided by sigma minus 1d. Sigma minus 1d works out to 297.41 plus sigma m, the mean stress we have calculated here as 8000 this is 8000 by pi d square, 8000 by pi d square. So this is 8000 by pi d square divided by sigma yd is equal to 324.76. The total quantity is equated to 1. Friends, when you solve this equation, you are going to get d, the diameter of the rod required, and on calculation this works out to d equal to 3.48 mm. See, this diameter depends on the intensity of loading. Here the load is varying between 1000 Newton and 3000 Newton, and hence you get the value of d equal to 3.48 millimeter. Friends, I hope the presentation made on this shaft subjected to the fluctuating load, fluctuating between 1 kilonewton and 3 kilonewton, was interesting. And friends, if you find this interesting, do subscribe to my channel Mechanical Engineering Lecture Series by Dr. M.H. Channaya. Have a wonderful day, and this is Dr. M.H. Channaya signing off.